With biomimicry perfect, how to direct prereqs for replication. Hypersymbiotic mech, I'm a micro-architect. Take a waste stream, turn it into a dream, into a home that grows food and medicine, dude. Have you ever repurposed a paintball gun just for fun, no destruction? Creation, projectile, drum, trailer, ribbon, graffiti, bacon, hang a garden. What about a hot shower? Hook up the aquifer. Capillary action in the middle of your city is a garden of my dream. It seems insane, but that's just part of your brain that is controlled by the rich. Floating garden island nation. With biomimicry perfect, how to direct prereqs for replication. With biomimicry perfect, how to direct prereqs for replication. With biomimicry perfect, how to direct prereqs for replication. Hypersymbiotic mech, I'm a micro-architect. Take a waste stream, turn it into a dream, into a house that grows food and medicine, dude. Have you ever repurposed a paintball gun just for fun, no destruction? Creation, projectile, drum, trailer, ribbon, graffiti, lichen, hang a garden. What about a hot shower? Hook up the aquifer. Capillary action in the middle of your city is a garden, now that's my dream. I know it seems insane, but that's just a part of your brain that's controlled by the rich. Floating garden island nation. We can green the Sahara without destroying the Amazon rainforest. With seaworthy freshwater forest, cellular biomimetic. Biomimicry with really big black organelles and salicylic silt. Do that again. We can green the Sahara without destroying the Amazon rainforest. The seaworthy freshwater forms, cellular biomimicry, black organelles that crystallizing silt to replace the nutritional output of the Sahara after it greens, following the flooding of the Qatar Depression by the Mediterranean and rich Nile waters. Mediterranean and rich miles and miles of it. With biomimicry predicts direct prereqs for replication. Hypersymbiotic mech, functional microcosm. Take a waste strip, turn it into a dream, into a garden satellite. I can do this. I can do. Alright, I'm all warmed up. This isn't gonna be good, I don't think, but with biomimicry perfect, with biomimicry perfect, how to direct prereqs for replication, hypersymbiotic mech, I'm a microarchitect, take away stream, turn it into a dream, into a home that grows food and medicine, dude. Have you ever repurposed a paintball gun just for fun, no destruction? Creation, projectile, drone, trailer, ribbon, graffiti like an echo. Hang a with biomimicry perfect, how to direct prereqs for replication, hypersymbiotic mech, I'm a microarchitect, take away stream, turn it into a dream, into a home that grows food and medicine, dude. Have you ever repurposed a paintball gun just for fun, no destruction? Creative projectile, drone, trailer, ribbon, graffiti like an hang a garden with it. What about a hot shower hook up the aquifer, capillary action? Blah, blah, blah. Have you ever repurposed a paintball gun just for fun? Have you ever repurposed a paintball gun just for fun? No. Blah, 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 blah. Have you ever repurposed a paintball gun just for fun? No destruction, just creation. Projectile love, drone, trail, ribbon, knock it out of the way. Projectile round, I keep it around. If you wanna get through, it'll show you. Okay. With biomimicry perfect, how to direct prereqs for replication. Stop that. With biomimicry perfect, how to direct prereq. Okay. With biomimicry perfect, how to direct with biomimicry perfect, how to direct prereqs for replication. I'm a blah, blah. With biomimicry perfect, how to direct prereqs for replication, hypersymbiotic mech, I'm a micro. Blah, blah. Okay, I got this. With biomimicry perfect, how to direct prereqs for replication, hypersymbiotic mech, I'm a micro. With biomimicry perfect, how to direct prereqs for replication, hypersymbiotic mech, I'm a myco-architect. Am I being too loud?
No, I'm looking for my roll.
Okay.
I need to find it. I lost it. Oh, it is.
With biomimicry perfect, how to direct. Okay. With biomimicry perfect, how to direct prereqs for replication, hypersymbiotic mech, I'm a myco-architect, take a waste stream, turn it into a dream, and to With biomimicry perfect, how to direct.
Do I have my light bulb in here? I don't see anything.
It's not in here. No. I saw you walking into your room with it. You want me to go find it?
I can't find it.
Okay.
I don't know. It's happened when it's cold. Huh?
I found it. It was in your closet underneath, like where the candy is. Candy. The honey and the medicine. With biomimicry perfect, how to direct prereqs for replication, hypersymbiotic mech, I'm a myco-architect, take a waste stream to turn it into a dream, into a home that grows food and medicine, dude. Have you ever repurposed a paintball gun just for fun? No destruction, only creation. Drone trail of ribbon, graffiti like and hang a garden. What about a hot shower? Hook up the aquifer. Capillary action in the middle of your city is a garden. Now that's my dream. I know it seems wild, but nothing's wiser. That's just the part of your brain that says status quo, safety put there by you. No, a capitalist. Greed, Nazis, the fools, indeed, they fucked it up. Slave owners. That's fucked. Okay. With biomimicry perfect, how to direct prereqs for replication, hypersymbiotic mech, I'm a myco-architect. Okay. Okay. With biomimicry perfect, how to direct prereqs for replication, hypersymbiotic mech. I'm a micro-architect, take a waste stream, turn it into a dream, into a home that grows food and medicine. Dude, have you ever repurposed a paintball gun? Fuck. With biomimicry perfect, how to direct prereqs for replication, hypersymbiotic mech. I'm a micro-architect, take a waste stream, turn it into a dream, into a home that grows food and medicine. Dude, have you ever repurposed a paintball gun just for fun? No destruction, creative projectile, or an effective projectile. One round could break every lethal device, then show you how to be nice. Think twice, make rise. Come again. A garden, drone trailer ridden, graffiti lichen, hang a garden. What about a hot shower? Hook up the aquifer, capillary action. The middle of your city is a garden now. That's the dream. I know it seems insane, and it's wild, but nothing is wiser. Just the part of your brain that says status quo is safer. The powers that be put that thought in me. With biomimicry perfect, how to direct prereqs for replication, hypersymbiotic mech. I'm a micro-architect, take a waste stream and turn it into a dream. Blech. Okay. With biomimicry perfect, with biomimicry perfect, how to direct prereqs. Okay. With biomimicry perfect, how to direct prerequisites for replication, hypersymbiotic mech. I'm a micro-architect, take a waste stream, turn it into a dream, home that grows food and medicine. Dude, have you ever repurposed a paintball gun just for fun? No destruction, creative projectiles, or an effective projectile. One round could break every lethal device, then show you how to be nice. Think twice, make rise. Come again. A garden, huh? Drone trailer ribbon, graffiti lichen, hang a garden. What about a hot shower? Hook up the aquifer, capillary action. The middle of your city is a garden. Now that's my dream. It could be yours. I know it seems really wild, but there's nothing wiser. Wild, wilder. silty, fresh water system, biomimicry, colossal me. Princess royalty. Shut up, me. Never floating island nation. There's enough plastic, so don't be a dick. Solar punk is you. You know it's true. Blah, one more time. Is biomimicry perfect? How to direct prerequisites for replication. Hypersymbiotic mech. I'm a microarchitect. Take a waste stream and turn it to a dream. Into a home that grows food and medicine dude. Have you ever repurposed a paintball gun just for fun? No destruction, creative projectile, or an effective projectile. One round break every lethal device, then show you how to be nice. Think twice, make rise, come again. Drone trailer ribbon, graffiti lichen, hang a garden. What about a hot shower? Hook up the aquifer. Capillary action in the middle of your city is a garden. Ah, that's the dream. I know it seems wild, but nothing's wiser. Oh, the part of your brain that says the status quo is safe. It's them. It's what they want you to think. It's not the truth, so get it out. I don't want it like that. Floating island nation. We can green the Sahara without destroying the Canary Islands. Aerosolized silt. It's all about biomimetic forms, colossal biomimicry. The waters of the Nile, enriched by the Mediterranean, flow into the Qatar Depression. cellular biomimetic forms, cellular biomimicry, colossal biomimetic, floating, seaworthy freshwater system. The waters of the Nile, enriched by the Mediterranean. The waters of the Nile, enriched by the Mediterranean, flow through a cyanobacterial biomimetic form along the coast of North Africa till they make landfall and cause erosion, aerosolize nutrition, and fill the Qatar depression with fresh water. Why not in the shape of a spiral? Okay, I got into some stuff there. So living architecture is totally doable. I'm myceliating quite a lot of waste. Trash. You turn trash into mushrooms, which are symbiotic with all your crops, and you grow all of that in an architectural form made of just like plastic, and it's like totally livable. It's great insulation. It grows you food. And, it will cause evapotranspiration, which will actually change your local climate. So that's nice. And, the global climate, of course, if enough of us do it, but that's, going to change anyway if we employ these colossal biomimetic forms, these enormous floating cellular structures that can be assembled at the mouths of rivers, and where they pour a plume into the sea that's visible from space, and what you're actually seeing is all the nutrition that's being dumped into the ocean. Well, instead of just being randomly dumped into the ocean, it could enter a cellular sort of form that sequesters, that holds all that fresh water and silt, and supports both a seaworthy, both a seawater marine ecosystem and a freshwater marine ecosystem, and enriches the sea in a much better way, while also saving all that fresh water, and making cell after cell after cell, connecting them in a big long chain that could snake across coastlines, or these cells could end up in the middle of the ocean, supporting this floating garden island nation that I was talking about. But regarding the Amazon, have you ever wondered why the river looks like a wet Sahara color? That's what it is. So the Sahara blows over the Atlantic, enriches the sea and the Canary Islands along the way, and then it lands all over the trees, which are performing this evapotranspiration. They're exuding rain into the air, and that washes all of this into the river, which looks that color for that reason. So if we greened the Sahara without aerosolizing a huge quantity of silt, like, for example, with enormous black slowly rolling organelles that aerosolize, that collect silt from these freshwater floating systems and aerosolize it to replace the nutritional output of the Sahara, the Amazon would collapse. The color of the river would change, the forest would turn yellow. I don't know if that's true, but animals would, they would collapse. The whole ecosystem would fall apart. So that would be bad, and that's what everyone always says when you say, "Well, what if we green the Sahara?" It's like, well, no, actually, the world depends on that dust output, and no, right? Well, here's the answer. There is enough plastic floating around and just in our river systems, and there's enough crap in our river systems, like laundry and whatever ended up in our landfills is going to be very useful this century. And I think a lot of it's going to be myceliated, a lot of it's going to be composted, and these forms, these architectural forms that we're going to make, I hope they take over. I hope you see them everywhere. I hope your bus stop ends up covered in this garden that grows itself. And, the walls of your house. I always used to dream about, what if people in the springtime had to walk out with a snow shovel and scrape all the self-replicating garden creations or creators, Talk about a walking garden that gardens. Well, what about a flying one, If you had a tiny little drone that's kind of like a fly that had its wings ripped off, and it's just looking for another pair. It picks up a couple of leaves. It's got to make sure they're the right size and shape. But, if you believe, these things could pollinate like bees. Do you believe me? Okay.